Working the night shift at a corporate office building isn't as quiet as you'd think. Sure, most nights it's just me, the hum of fluorescent lights, and the occasional security guard making rounds. But every so often, I get the feeling that someone else is there. Last week, that feeling became real. It was a Wednesday night, and I was working the graveyard shift at the front desk of a high-rise office downtown. The building was mostly empty. Just a few employees working late and the overnight janitorial crew. I was doing what I always do, watching security monitors, answering the occasional call, scrolling through my phone when nothing was happening. Then around 1:30 a.m., the front doors slid open. A man walked in. He looked disheveled, like he hadn't slept in days. His clothes were wrinkled, his hair was messy, and he had that wild-eyed look people get when they're running on too much caffeine, or something worse. I straightened up in my chair. No one should have been coming in at this hour. "Can I help you?" I asked. He didn't answer right away, just stood there staring at me. Then he grinned. "I have a meeting," he said. I glanced at the empty lobby, then at the monitors. There was no meeting. I forced a polite smile. "There aren't any scheduled meetings this late, sir. Do you know who you're meeting with?" He tilted his head, like he was confused. "Yeah, I work here. I just forgot my badge." That was lie number one. I knew every employee on the night shift. This guy wasn't one of them. "Okay," I said slowly. "What department do you work in?" He blinked. Marketing." There was no marketing team in the building. I reached under the desk and quietly pressed the security alert button. I kept my face neutral, but my heart was pounding. "Well, unfortunately, I can't let you in without an employee badge." I nodded toward the exit. "You'll have to come back in the morning." He didn't move, just stood there, smiling, for an uncomfortably long time. Then finally he chuckled under his breath. "You don't remember me, do you?" That's when I felt a chill down my spine, because he said it like we had met before. Before I could respond, the elevator doors dinged open across the lobby. The security guard, Tom, stepped out. "Everything okay here?" he asked, eyeing the man. The guy's smile faded immediately. He shoved his hands into his pockets and turned toward the door. "I was just leaving," he muttered, walking outside into the night. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. But something still felt off. Tom walked over, frowning at the glass doors. "You know that guy?" I shook my head. Number he said he worked here, but he was obviously lying. Tom sighed and checked the security footage from earlier in the night. And that's when we saw it. The man had been lurking outside the building for hours. Long before he walked in, he had been standing just outside the camera's view, pacing near the entrance, watching through the glass doors. At one point, around midnight, he had walked up to the front, leaned against the glass, and stared straight at the security camera, like he knew we'd see him later. Tom called the cops, but by the time they arrived, the man was long gone. They took down a report, told me to call if he came back, but he never did. At least I don't think he did, because every so often when I glance at the security monitors at night, I swear I see a shadow just outside the doors,